We have our Dave Colley, who is joining us here, and we had this breaking news just a few moments ago. And so, Dave, I want to get an update on what has been unfolding regarding this threat to a BLM office that seems to be very homegrown and even comes out of Little Stockton, Utah.
Yeah, Doug, I've been reading through these charging documents, which were just made public today. The federal government is saying that this man was at the Cliven Bundy standoff back in 2014. He is, as you mentioned, from Stockton. His name is William Keebler, and basically the claim goes that he started last year trying to put together this militia group to attack the BLM. At one point, these charges say, in fact, back in February, that he met with the group, talked about trying to surveil targets, and actually went by the BLM state office right here at the Gateway Mall across the street from
Our neighbor
House.
just to the west
Exactly
of us,
right.
a block away.
Decided apparently that was too big a target just because of all the other activity in the area, so shifted and decided let's go after places that are more out of the way. So they set their sights on some BLM cabins down in northern Arizona in Mount Trumbull, and according to these charges, they say that just this week, in fact, Tuesday night, that Keebler traveled down to this area, Mount Trumbull, and placed a bomb device on the door of this BLM cabin and triggered the device. Unfortunately for him, the charges say that it was prepared by an undercover FBI operative and was inert, therefore did not go off.
So he actually punched the trigger.
That's what they're saying in these charges. Wow. So it wasn't just something where they're saying he plotted and planned, but actually the claim is that he went through the whole process of trying to carry out this plan. As you mentioned, there's a single count charged against him, attempted damage to federal property by means of fire or explosive. The FBI and federal prosecutors right now, aside from the charges being tight-lipped, they say it's an ongoing investigation. But this is obviously in that whole sphere of everything that was going on with the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge takeover. He was friends with Lavoy Finicum, according to these charges, who was the rancher from Utah killed up there when he reportedly resisted arrest by the Oregon State Police.
And ties to the Bundy family.
And ties to the Bundy family. So it's just another wrinkle in that ongoing kind of uprising against the BLM on the part of some of these Westerners.
And the only reason we didn't have one of those BLM cabins just blown to smithereens is because the person that built the bomb was an undercover operative.
Well, and Doug, we wondered for a long time after the Arizona standoff what the federal government was doing, because it seemed like a lot of those militia members who showed up were just allowed to walk off and nothing came of it. Well, it's pretty obvious in these charges that what's been going on is the FBI has been conducting undercover operations, targeting individuals until they had means to go in and arrest them.
You know, as I was mentioning to you, I'm so familiar with Stockton, Utah. I love that little town. It's a mining community. I have a real soft spot for mining communities. My dad's side of the family is from Tooele. I've spent a lot of time in Stockton, familiar with some of the history in that area, and quite often go through Stockton on my way to Eureka, going kind of the west route. And holy cow, there's something unnerving about hearing that it happened right there.
It is a bit of a shock to see it right, as you mentioned. I mean, it is literally in our backyards.